Hi guys, FAQ time for the power lines. A lot of TP power lines. I'm getting quite a lot of questions for actually. So bear with me. I'm just going to check, make sure we are streaming in live. Let's have a check, make sure we're on. 'Cause last time I did this, it wasn't actually going live. I was talking to myself. So yeah, because I want to be able to see the comments. I may not be able to see your comments though, because I'm not seeing it come up at the moment. But yeah, so the TP, the most common question we get at the moment is one particular person's just messaged me to sort of say when they switch it on, it kicks all the Wi-Fi off the house off. And I wanted to sort of touch base because it's probably a lot more easier talk about it than it is actually typing lots of messages. Now, when you got the TP Wi-Fi, they'll broadcast at 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And it's a bit like your neighbour's routers as well. They're all advertising 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So we're losing the stream. Keep losing the signal. I've got a few internet issues at home going on at the moment. So let me have a look. TB, have we got a live stream again? Have we got live stream again? So yeah, so that's off point now, and I keep getting poor connection coming up. Okay, we're gonna yeah, what's going on? Events. Oh yeah, well, like that's cool. Yeah, so don't forget, you've got neighbours' routers, which are probably next door to you, are running 2.4 and 5 gigahertz on their main routers. Your main router you got from BT or wherever your service provider is will be running 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. That's the latest on the new router. If you've got an oldish router, then it probably advertises on 2.4 gigahertz. Now, when you install these TP boxes on your network, they'll also broadcast 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Now, when you've got those two frequencies, you also got channels within those frequencies, 1 to 15 or 1 to 24, depends on what your router provides. Now, if you're finding when you power your TP links on, it's kicking the Wi-Fi off your main router off, then you probably find it's actually on the same channel that's causing a conflict and it's taking priority over the channel, hence why you have a dropout. Then when you turn your TP links off, you have to then reset your router for it to come back on again, just as normal. Routers are not intelligent enough to say, I'm in it, I had a break in signal here, I better reboot myself. They're stupid. So they don't work that way, you have to reboot it. Especially if the Telephone Exchange has done an update on the Telephone Exchange end, it can throw routers, home routers offline, then you'll normally have to reboot. They're not intelligent enough to reboot themselves. So what you want to do is in the TP links, you can do it two ways. You can go into the router's web config, go onto the Wi-Fi and check out what the frequency and channel frequency they're on. Then you can adjust it onto a different frequency. It's always good because this common question also comes up if you don't have the TP link wires in, but you just got your normal home Wi-Fi and you're having the same sort of issue. Internet keeps dropping out on the Wi-Fi and it keeps coming back. Then it's probably because your neighbour's is interfering with yours. And most service providers will guide you and say, look, go onto your web interface, go onto the Wi-Fi page, and then change the channel to pick a channel. So if it's defaulted to channel 5, try 4, try one above it, a couple above it, until you find yours don't drop out. And that's the best way of doing it. The same with the TP links. If they're interfering, what you should be doing in my situation I've got, if you're using TP links around the house, so you've got one upstairs, I've got a box just in front of me here, if I can just turn the camera around. So I've got an Apple one here that advertises 2.4 and 5 gigahertz as well. And I also got my main router downstairs. So what I've done, well, I actually got two downstairs. So what I've done, my main router itself, I've turned the Wi-Fi off, and I've used the other one downstairs as the main router, and I've put it on the same channel. You can have the same 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and you can have different channels. It doesn't really matter. It's just where it broadcasts, and your phone will work out because your phone has the same SSD profile on both boxes. Then it will just jump between one or the other. It doesn't really care actually what channel or frequency it sits on. It'll jump between both of them. If you're using multiple profiles for every single Wi-Fi box in the house, then obviously make sure they're programmed into your tablet, and it will just swap around. There'll be a pause connection between the hops. So make sure if you're going to do this properly, the best way of doing this, I will advise you, the best way of doing this is have one SSD profile that every router wireless router in the house has the same SSID and the same password. Then it's one profile for every device. and that way it will just seamlessly swap around as you move around, because the basic default settings for any Wi-Fi device, whether it's a phone, a tablet, a laptop, a PC using Wi-Fi, it always connects to the most strongest signal that's nearby. That's how it works. So with the by the way, my setup is here. I turn the router 1 off. I've got one hotspot downstairs, got one up here, and I've got one in the garage. They're all running on the same profile. So it's one SSID, one security key for it. And I've programmed them up so that I changed the frequencies on them so they're slightly different to each other, so they're not overlapping or causing an issue with interfering with each other. So, and I've also checked my neighbours out. So if you do some of your routers allow you to do a scan of what's around you, but your mobile phone's good enough for that. You can scan what's around you, and then you can then sort of like see and then check. You can get some apps on your phone that will scan the radio frequency nearby you and also tell you the channels they're actually on. Then you know what channels to avoid and use. So only the neighbours ones you need to worry about, because don't forget Wi-Fi can push up to 500 meters. It's degraded through walls. So the most nearest ones, your neighbour that side or your neighbour that side, or even if you've got a neighbour over the back, the fence could also interfere. So if you can pick something that's out of their range slightly, then you'll get a better improvement on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz itself. So that's what I would suggest to try out. So, but don't run router, and if you've got multiple, it's always good to stay with the same brands because they work nicely together. And if you're using the TP links rather than your router, so just turn the router Wi-Fi off. You can disable that within the web interface itself, and just try different bands until you find your Wi-Fi settles. The more and more people get Wi-Fi, and the more and more Wi-Fi devices you can have, the more options you'll have on conflicts and things like that. So that's what the channel side on the Wi-Fi setting is all about. And I wonder if I can just show you on my one. So if I just go to my interface, I'm gonna see if I can log into it and give you a rough idea of where to look. So this, I can remember what my IP address is as well, because it's very rare I actually go in and configure stuff. Once it's set up basically. So let's see if I can log in with my one, give you a rough idea. So go on settings, put passcode. Oh, what's my passcode? Go check that out. Again, I haven't typed that in for ages. So give that a go. Just logging in and see. Right, so let me get the right settings. Oh yeah, I've turned mine off. So have a look at it. So on my one, so this is my BT hub. So on my BT hub here, if I can get too close without getting too blurry, I've actually turned my 2.4 and 5 gigahertz off, so that my one downstairs, which is my master one now, so these won't conflict with each other. Okay, so that's what I've done with that one. And if I can now log into my other router, which is broadcasting. Oh, where's it gone? Broadcasting as my main master one. Oh, I can't remember what the IP address of that one is. So it's below. Is that the right one? I think I found it. So bear with us a sec, because I'm just going to log into it. I should have pre-done all this beforehand, because when you're doing these, you sort of like think a bit far ahead. What the bloody password is now. So get in there in a sec. On the spot now. Oh, I forgot what my password is. Hold on a second, I'm just gonna lock you on to the bench and not actually holding it. So any questions so far, guys? Got him, right. So if I turn this one around now, so this is my router. So this is my main router I use on this. It's an RT NN66, that's my master one. So if I go to the wireless settings here, you can see all the different types of settings you've got here. So this is the 2.4 gigahertz, and this is my channel bandwidth. Some will have channels and some will call channel bandwidth, and then channel control you've got here as well. So channel control is the auto channels. So the channel control is set to auto. So basically what it will do is just pick one at random that it thinks is okay and it'll hop onto. But if you want more manual control, because auto could be any channel. So I will try each one until it clears up. As soon as it's cleared up, that'll be the one you will leave it set on for. Most I think some average ones normally pick 5 and 6 tend to be sort of reasonable common channels that other routers may use. So if you're like for instance, the one I'm answering the question for, so if you look at your BT router or your router itself, look and see what channel the channel it's running on. So if it's not set to auto and it's actually on a channel number, then you can then pick the other one to be a channel above or cup above. You just go up until you find that it stops like disconnecting. If it's on auto, I will take it off auto. I will try a channel 5 or 6 or maybe 7. It's up to you. Pick one anyway, and just try that, and then set your other one as a different channel. Okay, and do the same for both. You've got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz has similar same. They have there you go. You've got different auto channel controls here. So these are much in a higher range as well. So again, check on both routers. So if your router supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, check the channel it's on, and then try changing them, and that's probably the best way of doing it. So hopefully that answers your questions on that side. I'm trying to see if there's actually any show live chat messages. Here we go. My phone may be able to let me see any chat messages. Nope, nothing's coming up, so I don't know any messages. So hopefully that answers your frequent questions on the TP links. I will do another one as well. So if you got some issues with your TP links or any type of wireless devices, I've got some more wireless devices to review, and also next week I'm installing a TP Wi-Fi setup for a nice big house. I've been asked to do that, and I'll be installing 2 Wi-Fi hotspots at the back of his garden, which is going to be outside on a PoE device, and we're installing 2 ceiling mount ones inside. Oh yeah, cool. Hi William. So that'll be next week. So hopefully I'll be videoing that install so you guys can see where I'm positioning things, how I'm doing it and stuff like that anyway. So no worries. But I'm going to be installing TP-Link into my house. I brought lots and lots of routers because obviously I've got the Apple device next to me here. I've got the Agos RT N66U downstairs. That's acting more like a Wi-Fi and a hub itself. So I'm going to be changing all this to the TP links, the ones that I've been reviewing. They're coming into my house. So I've already got one installed in the garage that provides the garage area and the shed area and the garden area for it. And I'm going to have one up here, so I can probably install it just above there, outside there. So that covers this room and the other room and downstairs itself. So that's what I should all really need in this house, actually. So Jack worked out. He has told me to change the Wi-Fi settings. Sorry, I missed your chat. Oh, we go. E has told me to change the Wi-Fi ends to N. Yeah, a lot of them will actually give you different. They will ask you to do different changes. There's lots of little custom changes you can do this on it. There's more to do with the channel frequency itself, because when BT sends their routers out, they will be on a particular channel, and sometimes some of the new stuff will be set onto auto. So it'll be up to the router to find out what channel to sit on, and they normally should pretty much work out. To avoid other channels that have already been used that's nearby. That's the biggest issue you have. So only N, does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. So there's a lot of configurations they can try anyway. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Play about with them. If you've got channels and in your software and it gives you your available channels to play with, then I would do that first. Change each one, do one at a time. Apply it, reboot the router, give it 10 or 20 minutes to settle down to see if there's any difference, then go back in it, make a change if there is. If it's not, then you just leave it as it is. Simple as that. So yeah, hopefully that answers questions. If not, leave a comment below and I'll do another FAQ as well, and we'll catch up with that stuff. My question was about Wi-Fi turning off in the house when I connect to the TP links. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what this video was about. It's to do the channel conflictions, because every router where it broadcasts 2.4 or 5 gigahertz will cause a conflict with other routers, whether it's your neighbors or whether you've got another one in the house, like a particular one I've got here, can cause a conflict on the channels, because it'll pick a channel. Not, you only got, so you guys are used to like 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, but there's also channels. So for instance, on my TP-Link, on the 5 gigahertz frequency, you've got channel numbers ranging from 36 all the way up to 140. And on the 2.4 band frequency, you've got channels numbers from 1 to 13. Now, if you've got your neighbours on 6, yours is run on 6, they can cancel each other out, hence why you have dropouts, or at some point no connection at all. So I would change that. That's what your ISP are probably saying to do, is change those channels until it settles itself out. That's all they can do. But if you find every single channel is still bottoming out and disconnecting, then you probably find it might be a hardware fault. But that's the normal point of call to do, is change the channel it's on to a different channel until it sorts itself out. So, because otherwise, if you're running on the same channel, on the same frequency, they'll all end up conflicting with each other and stuff. Am I correct in thinking that I can reset the TP-Link adapters? Yes, you can do a factory reset on those. Make sure you've got the latest firmware, that also helps as well. Find out, connect to your web interface on your main router to find out what channel each of your 2.4 and 5 gigahertz is actually on. And then when you go into TP-Link, change them onto a different channel setting. They don't have to be on the same, and you'll probably find that be fine. That's all we probably need to do. But if it is still conflicting, then what I would do is keep the TP-Links on, but disable the router's own Wi-Fi off, so you don't have it on like I've done here, and have one downstairs and one upstairs and connect together on the same brands, because sometimes different brands can cause conflicts as well with each other, but when you've got the same brand, they always seem to work really nicely with each other. They talk well with each other, and they're designed to sort of not interfere with each other as well. So again, lots of questions keep flashing on down, so I'm checking everything. Yeah, so hopefully that answers that question. Any more, if you're not quite sure, watch this video over again. If not, comment below, and then I'll do another FAQ for you guys. So thanks very much for watching. Sorry, before another question's popped up. Show me the messages. Come on. Ah, there you go. I had that stuff for a while and they work perfectly. Many thanks. Yeah, I mean, some adapters can just literally pick a channel and be fine with, and then you get these conflicts. It's hit or miss. Some people will be fine, because a lot of times the Wi-Fi can also be your neighbours overlapping yours. That's very common now. You think that everybody has got you talk about nearly every household in a street is now got their own router. They're advertising Wi-Fi, so you're going to get somewhat along the line now. Lots of conflicts, lots of things happening like this. So it's worth changing the channel frequency to avoid it as well. It's only the ones that are nearby you, so it's the neighbours either side of you that will cause conflicts. The neighbours beyond that probably won't even reach you, because obviously when they go through the walls of the houses, their signal degrades. It probably doesn't ever reach you, or it's so low enough it's not enough to interfere. But the one next to you is. If you're running multiple different brand names of Wi-Fi in the house as well, they can cancel each other out as well. So it's a matter of like making these settings. Nothing's ever simple as buying it, plugging it in, and away you go. Wish life was like that, plug and play. It's not like that. 9 times out of 10, if you've got nothing interference-wise around you, then it's okay. I mean, I fly drones. I've got a DJI Phantom 4 that runs on the same frequency as my routers do, so that can cause issues with my Phantom or the other way around. So when I test my Phantom, I have to make sure I go away from the home to test it with, because it runs on the same frequency. Everyone seems to be loving the Wi-Fi things, and everything's coming Wi-Fi. So you might even find a remote control car that may be running on the 2.4 frequency that could also interfere with your router. So you might have a neighbour with his RC car running around on 2.4. That could actually cause interference as well. So it's just one of those things. We're all running Wi-Fi. We all want Wi-Fi. Everything's coming Wi-Fi. And we're going to get a very congested traffic area, and conflicts and more issues going on anyway. It's getting busier. But no, yeah. So try and limit, if you are running the TP-Link brand and you've got one for each of the rooms, then I will turn the routers one off, keeping the same brand name, and then you should be fine. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Again, I've got to do another FAQ a bit later on, so if you've got any more questions, please comment below this video and we'll pick this up another day. So yeah, so thanks for watching guys. I like to keep these videos short anyway, because a lot of people moan, oh it's too long, yeah, went on a bit longer, so I'm cutting it there now. So save the questions for another one. We'll probably do another one tomorrow, or maybe another one on Monday. Just let me know. So I'll get enough questions come up, then I'll do another video straight away like I've done here today. So thanks for watching guys. Cheers.